Good morning, everyone. This is B from Kongs R Us, and welcome to our Sunday Funday show. Thanks for everybody for sticking in there. And we started a little bit late because Mrs. Kongs R Us was still getting dressed. She kind of ran downstairs, still zipping up the back of her outfit. If you guys recognize the outfit she was wearing in the thumbnail, put it into the chat. I'm curious if you guys know what that is. I thought it's a really fun costume. And for folks that were watching last week's show with our John D Halloween stream, people were like, how come she's not in that outfit? Well, I had a bunch of photos from that photo shoot. So I said, hey, why not? Let's make sure she makes use of the funds of making sure that we can get some people to join us. I hope you guys enjoy that as well. But let us know, how's everybody doing today? I'm curious what's going on. We have Rainwater Games in the chat. So good morning to John, Brad, Bobby, Mike, Steven, Andy, Dwayne, EPT, and everyone else. You just did my welcome to everybody because you named everybody there. Is it Hello Kitty Supper Cat? Really? You guys don't recognize the outfit that she's wearing in the chat or in the thing? Oh, there it is. Dwayne knows. It's Diva from Overwatch. Which, by the way, it is Diva. What's up, Webhead? I have the game. I've not actually played it, but we have some Diva gear way back if you watch some of our other Sunday streams. And I've been meaning to do a review of this, but we have Secret Lab chairs. We have his and her Secret Lab chairs, and I have a Dark Knight Secret Lab chair. And I bought her an Overwatch Diva chair because it's pink and it pretty much exudes who she is from a color standpoint and a scheme. So she's like, oh, this is cool. But she had no idea what Diva was or has even played it. So I was like, hey, why not buy her a Diva outfit so she can sit in the chair and represent. And so we had some fun showing off some of the Diva outfit that she did. And maybe we can show off the photo shoot. If you guys are interested in seeing her photo shoot, we can definitely show that off. But today's topic, Webhead was screaming it out there. I have a couple of toys in my background. I have a couple of things I wanted to talk about. And one of the things that I really wanted to talk about was crowdfunding toys, projects. Arcade1Ups did a crowdfunding project, if you don't remember. And so I wanted to talk just to have a conversation because there's nothing like a crowdfunding project to really get the FOMO in you about purchasing something. And there's like legit FOMO about truly buying these projects that are in this crowdfunding source that's limited time. It's an early thing. There's like a psychology to crowdfunding that really gets people in it. And so I don't know, like I have the biggest FOMO when I look at these campaigns, like wanting to jump on them to, not only to help reach a goal, like that community goal, but there's also the project itself, which is really cool. And you're supporting kind of like a small business or a backer. Arcade1Up's not a small business or backer, but they did a Kickstarter, right? So there's all these different things about crowdfunding projects that I really want to talk about and just talk about my experience. And if anybody's actually interested in joining the show, I thought this would be a fun. Our Sunday chill and chat shows are really an opportunity to just kind of talk to the community. If anybody else has really jumped into crowdfunding projects through Kickstarter, through Haslab, through Indiegogo, I'm really curious. So I'm dropping an open chat or open invites into the chat to our StreamYard. If you have an experience with the crowdfunding project that you've actually backed, that you are really passionate about, that you want to mention, that we can check out. I'm also really interested in learning kind of what other cool projects are out there and seeing if there's other things that we can support. So yeah, definitely there's an open notice there. Holy mother of God, you just noticed the Unicron. So this badass boy is huge. That is one of the first Haslab things that I backed. And man, that did not disappoint. Oh my God, Rainwater Games says he has backed 141 Kickstarters to date. Well, you've done this year holding back in past years. You had a real issue. No Money Ranger says you still have FOMO missing out on Haslab, Unicron, and Sentinel. So if you didn't notice this bad boy, I have the Haslab Sentinel here that I've had in my possession for maybe the last, I want to say like 2 months, and I still haven't opened it yet. I have like no space to put these giant ass figures anywhere. So I'm like, I'm going to use this stream as my kick my ass and just do it type of thing to open this live. So Mrs. Kongs R Us will be helping me open this live and playing with the big giant ass Sentinel right here. All right, let's see if I missed any other chats. Hey, John says you got 3 machines to finish modding the A1Up. Good job. Getting 3.1 working. You want to see the huge Sentinel. Very good, very good. Webhead, you have band practice today. All right. What else did I miss here? Okay. Arcade was your first crowdfunding project. Oh yeah. Was it? Was it a Kickstarter? I think so. I forgot that IRK. So there are arcade machines. I'm gonna look at my history and check it out. And good morning. I finally have Mrs. Kongzarus here. What can I help you with?
I don't know yet.
Yeah?
Put stuff down.
You can put stuff down. Very good. On our expensive toys. Perfect.
Oh,
Perfect.
great.
Lots of liquid. That's okay. That's okay. I have a box right here that's also one of my Haslab projects that she's putting stuff on. But how are you? Who are you right now?
I don't know. Is there a name for this diva?
Yes. Well, the name is actually Diva. So do you want to sit here? Or do you want to sit here?
Well, let me go get my liquid.
Go get your liquid. Oh, she needs to go get the rest of her liquid. So, all right, what's going on, Kong? Or War? What's going on, Kong? Nice X-Men share. Thanks, Papa Brad. Appreciate that. Good morning, Keo. Keo's here. If you want to check out some really cool Arcade Europe stuff that's happening, they did a really cool stream with the creators of the Arcade Europe light gun. So Keo Daikin's there. Dual stick games. Either two HOTAS, radio control, left stick needs not center. I'm sure there's another chat that I missed here. Oh, you like to build a race drone arcade machine that can take off. That would be cool. That would be cool. Darth Penguin says his first Kickstarter was Dvoom 64 pixels and loves it. Very cool. Very good. All right. Oh, Dan, you got to outdrink Mrs. Kongzarus again. So she brought me coffee and some sparkling water. But yeah, she is also running to get her own sparkling stuff. Why don't I scoot over so it makes it easier for you to get in there?
Okay, perfect.
All right, there it is.
Oh yeah.
All right, good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
Can you tell the people how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yes.
There's only so much you can do with gloved hands.
Gloved hands. All right. So you are now representing Miss Diva. Like the name is Diva. She's a character from a game. What game is she from?
Overwatch, isn't it?
Yes. Good job. You actually knew that much. So
Thanks.
I didn't know. I was telling people like, I just bought you the costume because of the matching chair. Pretty much was like the sole reason that I got you that costume. But I think you look great in it.
Mrs. Kongzar's outfit. She is always coming with the style and fire. Thank you. Papa
Oh yes, that is. She is. All right. So we are today's topic. If you didn't know, because you probably don't know what
I probably don't know.
You have no idea. So crowdfunding projects like
Okay.
Kickstarter, Indiegogo, Haslab.
Okay.
Do you have any like initial thoughts? Like, have you yourself ever backed anything?
Oh, yeah,
I
totally.
feel like I've backed a lot of stuff, but like, what are projects that you've backed? And what do you think about the psychology of like crowdfunding? Do you feel like there's a FOMO or something that really makes it more enticing to back a project versus just buying something that's straight out available?
Well, I mean, I like the idea of crowdfunding because you're trying to find your own source of income for something that might be like an adventure that you're trying to do. I did back a couple of Kickstarters, I think mostly for friends who were trying to do stuff. I haven't gone out and I haven't done nearly your caliber of Kickstarters, lots of money and stuff like that. But it was usually just for friends who are trying to start something, like start their own business, or like they had an idea that they knew their company wouldn't pay for, but they wanted to do themselves too. So it was, I like the idea of it. I mean, I'm not against it.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that for fundraising and stuff like that too.
Yeah, it's a fundraising platform kind of opportunity to really jumpstart an idea and a project. And then we've actually even have some personal friends that have put together some Kickstarters that have been really successful.
Yeah. And then Bobby Broadway made a really good point though. Like crowdfunding is great, and he doesn't really get people who hate it unless they point out scams, which is true. Like some of them are scams. You gotta read everything.
Yeah, that's absolutely a possibility too. So let's talk a little bit about the projects that I've backed, just to kind of give Mrs. Kongzarus a history of stuff that I've been interested in. We do content on stuff that we like, so I just wanted to highlight some of the major Kickstarters that I've backed that I think are fantastic and pretty awesome, and some things that I'm still excited in going towards. Are you trying?
I can.
What are you trying? You can touch. What are you trying to touch with your gloves?
Touching.
Don't worry, she's touching the keyboard, people. Yes, my first and only Kickstarter to date is Pie Packer. The physical items delayed until next year.
Oh, how's that? Yes,
we did back the Pie Packer as well.
You did.
I did.
I don't know why you keep saying we.
I packed a Pie Packer. I'm a pie packing. You want a pie pack with me? I think somebody made a t-shirt about that. I should wear that sometime. But here, check this out. So this is the one of the most current things that Hasbro the biggest toy company, one of the biggest toy company,
Oh god.
started a crowdfunding platform called Haslab. And so starting at the very beginning, these are some of their past projects that they've backed. I actually am thinking about doing a tier list just to kind of go over these projects. But these are massive projects. Their first project they ever did with this giant Star Wars sail barge. And so I actually missed this Kickstarter and didn't.
You missed it.
I missed it
purposely
because
ignored
yeah, I didn't buy it because I wasn't really into Star Wars figures, and this was a giant ship that I was like, it's not part of my current toy collection. I really don't have space for it. It's ginormous. But if you look at it today and you try to buy this thing totally made its money's worth.
So it's FOMO.
And yeah, there's some FOMO because it's so expensive if you wanted to get it now. And so the next thing I backed was this guy. I saw that the Haslab Unicron at Comic-Con, and when I backed this, I believe this was like, forget how much this was. I think it was, I don't, it's not even saying how much it was.
Expensive.
It was like
$700.
no, like $500,
No,
$600 maybe tops. And it was the most expensive figure that I was like ever bought at the time. It was like 2 years ago when I bought it, and I was like, this was amazing for the, and I finally got it. It's behind me. In fact, I've not even transformed it yet. But I was just so impressed by the level of detail. And then it makes sense. Like crowdfunding huge projects like this, things that aren't really commercial, viable products to just have in a retail store. I get a big toy company doing stuff like this where they can bring us a giant ass sail barge and Unicron. Hi, hello, Tabby. And so this was the bar for crowdfunding toys, and I was like, yes, I want to see more amazing projects like this. And so after this point, I started getting on the crowdfunding bandwagon. And so here's what else I've backed, or what's been available so far. So they've had these two plus.
Do they have Voltron on a skateboard?
They don't have Voltron on a skateboard. It's Victory Saber. And so let's start off with the ones that have been shipped early, that were earliest ones. So the next Haslab with the Sentinel. So this came out. I got the Sentinel. It took me a while to get onto it too, because it's one of those things where it's like you need a certain number of backers. So I backed the Sentinel. It's right there. I haven't opened it. I also backed the Star Wars Razor Crest.
Why?
Because it's amazing. Look at this. So this is the Razor Crest when the Mandalorian was coming out there.
These are huge ass toys. You already have huge ass toys.
This was different than the sail barge because I don't know, like this Razor Crest just looked amazing. Because
it was limited.
And I like ships. I actually like starships and other things too. So I backed the Razor Crest. Right before, spoiler alert, there was an episode of The Mandalorian where the Razor Crest may not have survived. So that happened right after the Kickstarter campaign happened. And many people were like, what? That's just devalued the toy.
I love what Ricardo said. I'm not spending $500.
Yeah.
A heater, $100 on a transformer.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess it's a little bit different for you because you've already spent that much money on toys.
I have. So I'm used to it. It is expensive. I mean, these are toys. But actually, this is the latest Kickstarter campaign that I'm so excited about that just came in. I have the box right here. It came in yesterday.
Oh, this is what this expensive
Hero Quest. Now I can explain to Mrs. Congress what this is. So Hero Quest was one of the board games I played as a kid, and like I lost all the pieces for it. My mom threw away the set, and I was so mad. But this was like my favorite, like Dungeons and Dragons type of game where you have a dungeon master and you have these characters that are running through different sets. And so this is my version of Dungeons and Dragons that I remember growing up and playing. And so when they released this, I was just so enthralled and so happy that they put this together. I had to back it. And so from a board game perspective, I got this mythic tier board game for $150. I don't know. I think it's amazing. I'm just so excited to even try to open that up, do some gameplay. I'm curious what Rainwater Games thinks of games like this that are not the true Dungeons and Dragons games. But I have Hero Quest. I saw the next couple of Haslab things were all like home runs for me. They were like Sentinel. Yes, it's a giant ass figure that's new and articulated. The Razor Quest, Hero Quest, and then a Galactus. I was starting to get disappointed at this point though. So Galactus, this was a new Galactus figure, yes, and it's a new mold, but they've done Galactus like plenty of times. They've had 2 different molds of Galactus figures. They did a Build-A-Figure Marvel Legends figures. You can grab that and like pull up chat if you want to.
I can't use a scrolly thingy.
What's that? Oh, it doesn't work? Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, there's this Galactus figure. So I was disappointed in this and just seeing it. It took me a long time to figure it out if I wanted this or not. But the main reason I got this was pretty much FOMO, because if I start looking at places like eBay and they start looking at listings for everything else after the crowdfunding project is over, every single one of these projects gains value almost immediately. And so I just got the Galactus figure due to FOMO, knowing that it was going to be more in value. So now I'm getting less for what I want and more for like that. This is a cool figure, yes, but I don't know if I'm going to keep it. And if I don't want it, I could sell it. And so that was the next project that I backed that I was kind of hesitant about. And then Victory Saber. So this was what you said was Voltron on a skateboard. You got running gloves.
So I can actually use this
Yeah.
jelly bar.
And so I was kind of excited to see Victory Saber in this form. So the only like this is cool. This is like a niche kind of almost Gundam looking transformer that was again a unique project. The only thing that has me kind of like hesitant about these projects, it doesn't work. Yeah, is that the size of this figure isn't as impressive and bulky as the other Haslab products. I was like, all right, starting with this project that came about, I was like, all right, so there's a trend now where, well, starting here, the projects are getting a little bit smaller and a little bit niche. Like I'm thinking Hasbro Pulse are like these giant figures, but I still backed it anyways because it's Transformers. And then the latest current funding projects came out. So this is the latest project that's coming out, and this is like my biggest disappointment in Haslab so far. So they're releasing a G.I. Joe Sky Striker, and it's not working.
No,
Oh,
I can't
sorry.
believe how inaccessible this laptop is. I have to do this.
What's that? What are you doing? Oh, she is. Oh my goodness, what are you doing? Are you unzipping yourself?
I am unzipping.
Okay.
It's not even accessible, this website. I can't like tab over the stuff.
Do you need help? You need assistance? All right, this was not planned, but she is fully gloved, and I was asking her to help me move some stuff around. So you might see a half-sleeved, not too far, right?
Not too far.
Not too far. There?
There.
Is that enough? Okay. You have a free arm. Free arm diva. Free arm diva who's helping with chat if you can follow chat. But Sky Striker. Okay, so just if there's any chats you just want to pull up because I'm missing chat right now. I'm going on my soapbox about Haslab projects right now because the G.I. Joe Sky Striker is $229 and I'm not backing this yet because this is not a new mold. This is a re-release of the old Sky Striker mold, but they've done extra things to it. Yes, they've added a cockpit. They've added some missiles. They've added some little flame things. But this is the exact same toy that I already own. I already have 2 Sky Strikers, and there's like zero reason for me to get this except for all the little accessories. So I was kind of disappointed and mad about this version of Haslab. I guess for people that don't have any Sky Strikers, this is a pretty cool product, but it's $229. I mean, the other Sky Strikers I got were $50. This just did not scream worth it to me for the Sky Striker. So this is one that I'm really on the fence about. Not that excited about. This one also kind of has me on the fence too. So this is a giant ass Rancor figure for the Black Series. It's ginormous. It's $350. Look, that's a 6-inch figure. And this is a giant Rancor figure. So if you like Star Wars and you like giant big figures and action figures, this could definitely be something that interests you. I don't know if I collect action figures that are this big though. It's really cool. This seems like it would be massively heavy. Look at this compared to, oh my goodness, that's the sail barge, that's the Razor Crest, and that's how big the Rancor figure is. Like that's
is that to scale?
Yeah, I don't.
The Rancor is not supposed to be bigger.
It might be to scale because that's a 6-inch figure. I think. I don't know if 6-inch figures go on the sail barge. That's interesting, but like maybe the Rancor is that big.
Probably Broadway did say the sail barge.
Sail barge is the ultimate, but look at that. Wow. So I didn't realize how big the Rancor figure is compared to these guys. But I mean, 6-inch figures fit in the Razor Crest, and I think that's the scale. So that is huge. I think it's one of those like impressive, massive things that.
So Webhead did bring up a really good point. The thing about crowdfunding is that it's a long wait. It's almost a full year before you get your hands on it. So how long did it take you to get like each of these things?
Almost 2 years. A lot of these are like almost 2-year projects. I mean, the Unicron came last year, but I ordered that in maybe 2018, right? And so same thing with these other projects. They're almost like a year and a half, if not. But have you seen this? This is the latest Haslab project that has been fully funded.
Oh my God. Is it the
Ghostbusters? It's the plasma, the proton
okay.
pack. It's this got funded already 7,000 backers, 7,500 backers in 1 week. and this was the Proton pack, Spengler's Proton pack, an actual movie replica pack for $400. And this is just one of those cool, detailed. If you love the 80s, if you love Ghostbusters, I mean, this
I think
is just
the Proton pack
cool.
is cool, but I think they should have gotten like the one where they catch the ghost.
Oh, the little like the
Yeah,
little catcher. I think they have those things too.
But then that would have been smaller,
Mm-hmm.
easier, more compact. This Proton pack is huge.
True, but they also have like I didn't realize that they had the Neutrona wand separately. So I was like, how come they do the pack and not the actual wand itself? It's because they sell the wand separately.
Wow.
So if you want the wand, you can buy it for $125.
Ricardo says if I ever go to California, I'm in the air, I'm definitely hitting up you and going to your house. So you're not the first one who said they wanted to come over to our house.
We do have a lot of things.
A giant kids playroom is all I can say.
Yeah. So I did this. I did back the Spengler Proton pack, which is supposed to come, I believe, to your point of how long it's going to take. Now that it's been backed, it was ship. Stop taking backers here. And I believe it's going to ship in the spring of 2023. We have to wait another year and a half before we get the Proton pack. So, I mean, like, these are just...
Webhead says, I'm having nightmares of hair getting caught in the neck back zipper. That's very true. That was really hard to, like, zip myself up without getting my hair caught. The running gag for me is, like, I'll cut my hair when it gets stuck in a seatbelt.
Yeah. So, that's my Haslab experience so far. Thus far, it's been pretty fun to see that. And I'm going to jump into Kickstarter. But before I do, oh, yes, No Money Ranger says the Proton pack is sold separately. Let's see. NECA Toys has you by the balls, and you've been going to Target every other day. I used to go hunting too. You used to go hunting at Targets, Toys R Us.
You used to go hunting. I just happened to be available at that time. You'd go hunting.
That's true. That's true. He's probably wants to come over and see B though. Oh, I see. You just got your Terminator T800. That's pretty cool.
All right, I'll stop with the chat because we are.
I'm back.
We're dueling chat.
We're dueling chat. That's okay. You can still have it if you need to. All right. I want to talk to somebody else as we get into that. We're talking about Haslab. Eventually, I want to get to opening that Sentinel. Let's bring in somebody who is a Kickstarter expert because I'm curious about his opinion because he said he's backed over 150 Kickstarters.
And those things aren't cheap.
They aren't, but there are some popular things that happen to be on Kickstarter. And it's board games. What's going on, Rainwater Games?
What's up, dude? Hey, check this. This is like the show and tell, right?
Yeah, of course. We're just
this is somebody mentioned this just a few minutes ago. This is the what do you call this? The Devo Pixel Pixu. I didn't even know it. Devoom Pixu 64.
Oh, cool.
Is it just a marquee or?
It's a pixel art like frame that you can just put up, and it has an app. You can make custom little animation. You saw my logo was on there. I put the iArcade logo. There's different games, and there's people make all kinds of different little anime. Look, weekly retro party. Look, there's Baby Yoda.
Nice.
It's the stupidest, most useless thing that nobody needs. But I saw it on Kickstarter. I'm like, I gotta have this, right? And that's what Kickstarter does to you. It makes you buy stuff like this that nobody needs. And don't ask me how much I paid because it's whatever 1,050 Hong Kong dollars is.
Oh, yes, because whatever the person that puts it up can actually set their price right.
Yeah.
Rainwater, you have some lovers and you have some haters from Ritual Adello, but that's okay. We'll still have you there. I have an open invite that I put into the chat because we're talking about crowdfunding and your experience. We just like chilling and talking to folks. If you want to join the show, yes, chilling. She's gonna start her chilling. What are you drinking?
This was a Le Hermitage. I was given to you by your friend.
Yes. Oh, fancy. A brut. Yes. Thank you, Kenny Chu.
Gotta start Sunday morning off with a bottle of wine, right?
And that's how she does it on a Sunday. So what can I say? But feel free to join if you have a story that you want to mention and say. But tell us about your experience with crowdfunding. I know this was an interesting topic for you since you backed so many projects.
As soon as I saw you say that,
yeah, like talk. What are the things that you're backing? Like over 150. Well, actually, let me get to the super chat really fast.
141 successfully backed. Yeah.
Got it. So Papa Brad's Gaming gave a $4 super chat, $5 super chat. Val and I are loving the show. She helped me film the Defender Party K Plus review. Give it a watch if you're into Arcade1Up stuff. Thanks, Val. Hey, Val. Thanks. So check out, Papa Brad Gaming. If you want to see one of the first reviews of a Defender Partycade, check out Papa Brad's Gaming. I definitely got to check it out. It was released a little bit early this morning.
I cannot put this somewhere.
Oh, I mean, you could
On the machine.
on my machine. Yeah, you can just do that. Do you need something else to put that onto?
I'm just putting dangerous liquids all over the place.
Oh my goodness! All right, Rainwater Games.
What is that?
Tell us more about.
You can't really see it very well. These things light. Oh, there you go. See these things light up? Okay, so this was a Kickstarter that I backed called Blinks, and it caught my attention because it was in the board games category, but it's not really a board game. It's like it's a toy, but each one of these little hex things has a different game programmed onto it, and when you put it with the rest of them, it will program the rest of them to play that game. And there's solo games, there's multiplayer games, competitive games. And some stuff are just not really games, they're like just little activities, but it's a blast to play in the dark, and you can get multiple sets and make big. It's again useless toys that you don't need. But you see this stuff on Kickstarter, and you're like, I gotta have that. It's the coolest thing ever.
I like the concept of it, but then like just the fact that you peel it apart really quickly. I feel like as you're playing it, if you got really into it, and then you just suddenly like.
What do you mean by
snapped it off.
like game? Like it's a board game, like a
like touch games.
Yeah, like little, and so these are all they're little buttons, so you can press the buttons and they do different things. Like so, there's some of them where you're trying to get all of your colors, and you're taking out the other people's colors. There's ones that are like Pong kind of thing, where the light will go back and forth, and you have to. I can't even describe it really, but you got to check it out. It's called Blinks Game System. I don't know if you can buy them after the Kickstarter now. Maybe.
Yeah, that's true. That's the other thing about so once it's done and the rewards are gone, you're like, is it gonna go into commercial product? Is it like the only time you can get it? So what are the top things that you've backed that have been the most impressive? And then I'm gonna ask you the flip question.
Okay. So the most expensive thing that I backed was my iArcade.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I backed that, but I have backed some pretty expensive board games. Too Many Bones was $280. I backed recently a little. It's a PC. I haven't got this one yet. It's like a tiny little box, like a little cube, but it's an entire PC in a cube. And I figure I'll use that for modding an arcade or something. But let's see, what else have I backed? Like accessories for board games, like little wooden trays and things to put your little bits and stuff in. Most of what I've backed is board games. And if you're hesitant about backing a Kickstarter, start slow, start small. So like the first thing I ever backed was a deck of cards. It was like a premium deck of cards that had like really cool art on it and everything. And it was maybe 10 or 15 bucks. And I backed that, and I thought, okay, well, let's try this, because the thing you got to remember is this Kickstarter is not a store. Like you could back something and legitimately like not get
lose that money.
Yeah, you're investing in this company. So,
but then I thought they give it back to you if they don't.
No, it's
sometimes,
really,
but
it really depends on the company.
The ones that I've seen, like they give back to you if they weren't able to fully fund it.
Well, okay, there's a difference.
There's a risk.
Oh my God, you've lost money.
I've not. There's the potential.
I just saw his kick. So while you were talking, Jeff, I'm so sorry. He pulled up his Kickstarter, and I saw the most expensive thing, and I just gasped out loud. I don't know if anyone caught that.
I'll go over the things
that you can lose money off of that page that I just saw.
I'll go over the things that I backed in a second. No,
you can if it doesn't fund. Yeah. Right. So let's say that they have a funding goal of $10,000.
I don't need the glass anymore.
If they don't get their funding goal, then you never get charged, right? So it's just an unsuccessful. So we'll never charge your card.
I've seen that, and that's happened to me before.
Are you worried about these high numbers? Because this is yen. This is not US dollars.
Oh, I can convert currency.
No, it's not. See,
$32,000.
This is Canadian, right? This is not a $2,000 thing. This is.
I can convert currency.
Yeah.
I
okay.
got it.
So have you ever backed anything that didn't come? For you, like personally,
yeah. Of the 141, I think I've had two that never came, and they weren't big things. Like one of them was, like I said, it was another deck of cards, and another one was a small little card game. So I maybe lost out like $30.
Okay, so this is my Kickstarter history. My very first Kickstarter. I used to be in an a cappella group way back in the day. I saw you singing randomly. Jeff Rainwater, so that was fun. We got to watch Rainwater Games singing in the car.
I discovered TikTok. Oh no.
Yeah, he discovered TikTok and was singing along. But I was in an acapella group, so I backed him. But this was like my first true Kickstarter that I backed, and this is actually I was really excited about this. This is actually, have you guys heard of this before? Have you heard of this?
Meter.
This,
so if you don't know how to, I mean, if you're on the fence about how you cook your steaks, you don't do it the traditional way. You're supposed to put your fingers together and touch like how you want your meat to be, like rare, not so rare, and like not cooked at all. This is actually an awesome tool. You have to charge it, and then you plug it straight in, and it tells your phone when it's ready.
Yeah, and so this is like the first wireless meat thermometer, and actually our college friend Joseph was the one that co-created Meter, and so we backed him to support him. But this has become, if you do barbecue, if you're a smoker, if you're doing like big cuts of
or
meat,
even like putting it in your oven too, you can't stick the meat thermometer's wire out because that's kind of scary to have your gas running and stuff like that too. This is completely wireless. You just stick it in your meat and you close the door.
Yeah, and so this was $1 million project and idea. So I've had a friend who, when we funded this, you can see there's 9,000 backers, but over $1 million helped bring this project to life. And I was like, wow, that's really cool that Kickstarters can be that successful. He actually was one of those that had tons of delays though. Like, so there's possibilities for length of time. There's that original delivery timeline, and this project, and as awesome as it was, suffered from a ton of like shipping delays and product like design delays and things. And so they were actually getting a lot of flack originally about getting their original rewards out. So Jeff, from your experience, have you had projects where, again, there were just delays or something was different than what the original reward was? Like, that's another component of like risk in these things, right?
Yeah, you absolutely have to. If you're going to back a Kickstarter, do not set any kind of expectation about when you're going to get your reward, because it's notorious for things getting delayed. Like, I think I've had more projects delayed than not. I'm sure
nobody hits their original timeline, right?
Nobody ever hits the original. I've had projects that they say it'll be a year and it's been 2 or 3 years.
So what was Mike saying where Jeff needs another IR Arcade promo code? That's $3.99.
You want to talk about the IR Arcade sale?
Sorry,
the sale that wasn't. But I actually, the funny thing is, I bought a couple of Christmas gifts using Kickstarter. I thought that'd be a cool gift. Be careful when you do that. Make sure you leave plenty of time. Like, I had some stuff where it was supposed to come in like October, and I thought, I've got like a 3-month buffer, I'm good. No. Not only did I miss that Christmas, but the following Christmas as well. It was like 2 years late. And so I go to my brother's house. I'm like, hey, here's that little bike. I bought him this thing that goes on your bike, because he likes to bike all over the place. He rides from like Seattle to Portland every year. And anyway, I bought him this little thing for his bike. It's got like turn signals on it and navigation, all this. And I brought it to him. I said, yeah, that's exactly what it is. I said, Merry Christmas. Here's your Christmas present from 2 years ago.
Nice.
So yes, absolutely. Delays do happen, and they happen often, all the time. So you just got to be prepared for that. You know, just don't go in with any kind of expectation you're going to get anything on time.
So what is this IR Arcade?
So the IR Arcade was actually a Kickstarter. So look, I backed the IR Arcade for $549. This was the first arcade Kickstarter that I did, and so once they announced the Dragon's Lair bundle version of it, that it was a Kickstarter campaign. So this was the original price point, was $549.
From what we have.
Well, this is the Black Edition version of it. They also have this one. So I got that once they saw Dragon's Lair, and this is before Arcade1Up announced they were doing a Dragon's Lair. I was like, I really want to play Dragon's Lair because emulation for those games absolutely sucks. So I wanted to play it on a thing. So I backed this, so it's pretty cool. And so at the time, this was the best price you can get it. But I think you can get the same bundle now for like
$3.99. Somebody said
for like $4.99 or like $5.99, something like that. Or the bar top itself is that price, but I think you could, like, they're doing like this crazy sale, and you can get it for pretty close to Kickstarter price, which is pretty good.
I think $4.99 for that one. If right now, if you go to Touch of Modern, you can get the basic one. I think for $3.99, just the regular. I actually paid $4.99 for my Double Dragon one. But I did that on the Kickstarter because I had what was called a super early bird bundle. So sometimes on Kickstarters, they will have like within the first 24 hours, or maybe like the first 100 pledges or whatever, they'll have a super early bird type of deal. And it's just companies do this to try and get people to jump in and get the hype going and stuff, right? So so sometimes if you're quick and you notice these things right away, or you know that a Kickstarter is going to start, if you get in early, sometimes you get a little bit better deal.
Yeah, I know.
So does everyone know about the hype that Akuma Rev is talking about?
Here comes another challenger. You like bringing something from the arts back to life. There's all sorts of things you can do. You can back like actual documentaries and movies and production companies for like just doing anything and everything, right? And so it's not just product, it's about seeing stuff. Rubicon Africa saying, waited 3 years for a crowdfunded project. Showed up one day, he completely forgotten about it.
So Jeff, what is the longest you've waited for something?
This game right here.
What is that?
Tidal Blades.
How long? Was it also 3 years?
I think that was about 3 years, yeah.
Lord.
And it just kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed, and then shipping and coronavirus, and they had art issues and stuff. They just had to keep going back and forth. And so yeah, it can happen, but the cool thing that I think about Kickstarter is that it allows companies that would never be able to do this on their own, right? Like they don't have, like you said, $1 million to start out the production of that. It allows them to get the funding up front that they can then use. And then it also, what iArcade did is they used it as a way to figure out what's the demand. Are there 1,000 people that want these, or are there 10,000 people that want these? You'd hate to make 10,000 of something and then only sell 1,000. You're going to be in debt, right?
So what do you think about big companies like Arcade1Up using Kickstarter to fund a project like this?
Hasbro.
I think it's great. I think this is it's a smart idea to do something like this, because like I said, you don't know what the demand is going to be on this. If you have 20,000 people that want to buy one of these Infinity game tables, but you undershoot your production, you only make 500 of them. Well, now you're going to have a lot of people that are frustrated because you didn't make enough. Yeah. But if you do the Kickstarter first, you have an idea of how many people want them, and you can tailor. Yeah, exactly. And then plus you get the money up front for it, right? So you've already got the money for it, so you don't have to worry about, are we going to sell all of these or whatever. You've got the money up front.
I mean, that's true. I mean, that's like the whole idea of an R&D, where like you think of an idea, but you don't have the money to back it up, and you're trying to find the people. Like, I work for an R&D shop, so it's really hard to be able to like find people who are truly interested in something, and then trying to find the efficacy of it, right? To convince people to like pay for it, but you have like this limited budget to be able to do something.
Yeah. And this is an interesting project by Arcade1Up, which most of us know in this community, but it was $1 million project. And there's a small percentage of actual Kickstarters that make it to that $1 million mark. So this was a success for them in that sense of it. And it launched the game table, which was, Kickstarter being built off of.
Are they going to do more games?
They releasing more games onto this.
Because at the moment your cover is on it and we haven't been able to play it.
Yeah, I've not touched my Infinity game table in like months, but since the review. But it's there, it's an option, but I think it makes sense as a project. Here's some other things that I've backed to, just so that you guys can see other things. So I also backed we did some cookware. I like my Mise knife. They had a really good campaign for.
Wait, what is this 2.0?
What's that?
I know about the knife. No,
this?
Up.
This is the pans.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the cooking pans that we use right now. We use the Mise cooking pans. These are the ones that I backed on Kickstarter. So yeah, you use these products. So
I have to use it because that's the only pans. You tossed on my other pan.
I also got this is one of the things that I use every day too, by the way. I'm also into electronic skateboards, and so I backed an electronic skateboard before it got really popular. And so this was like a $300 skateboard that I backed, and now I ride it almost every day because I walk my son to school and ride this back home.
That's
so
cool.
I love it. He's like, I'm gonna get exercise. I ride my electronic skateboard home.
It was good. It was a good project. And then Glenn's flat yoke. So starting into the home arcade stuff, like everything else that I back now.
Glenn?
Yeah.
Why is it in yen?
Because he had to work with some Chinese manufacturers, I'm sure. So
that's a good point.
Saw that one.
What are you doing, Glenn?
And now I don't feel as bad.
You don't feel as bad? Is this the one that you're like having a cow at?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. How much did you think that much yen cost?
27,000
yen.
Okay,
27,000.
divide by 3, right?
yen to US dollar. See, you know what? I have Google right here.
Yes.
$238.
$238. You don't feel as bad
Wait, that
anymore,
doesn't
right?
sound right.
Well, I mean, also
That sounds expensive.
It's good because it came with all these things too. It wasn't just this. This
Oh, okay,
device that I
okay.
got also came with the
I love it
trackball,
'cause
the
you're
Tron
like,
stick.
Oh, you went all in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sell it now, wife.
No, well, this is before I got into home arcades at all. I backed this before I ever modded my first Arcade1Up. So people know me because of my Star Wars mod. I originally backed this so I didn't have to mod it because I was like, this is gonna come out in the summertime. And it didn't. It got delayed, right? And so, but I had to do it. Then I backed our arcade, I backed Infinity Game Table, I backed Pie Packer, and then I backed this game called Bang Bang Pew Pew. So I haven't done a ton of Bang Bang Pew Pew. It's a light gun game.
That is his code word in bed.
Is it? Bang Bang Pew Pew.
Really?
Yes.
Babe, I'm gonna bang bang pew pew.
Bang Bang Pew Pew.
Oh,
All right, so
dear.
I know the
This is
new
awkward.
safe word. So those are my Kickstarter backing campaigns. I've also backed a few things using Indiegogo as well, and that's where I got my Sindon light guns. So I ordered a pair of Sindon light guns through it. So that's it. That's pretty much all that I've backed personally, and it's a lot of projects that are arcade related, things that I've been to. But I just wanted to showcase again, like this Haslab thing, that a lot of times once you're done with the campaign, it just goes up in value. So is there something that you what's that?
101 wanted to ask KB.
Yes. You backed the Infinity Game Table. How you liking it? I'm getting
Have
mine
you
next
not
week.
watched the review?
She's in the review. So I would definitely recommend watching it. It's a good review. It takes a lot of time editing that stuff, right? But it features Mrs. Kongs or Us and several other folks. But it's a good simplified gaming approach if you are a casual gamer. If you're a hardcore like Jeff, is not for you.
Oh, that's interesting. So Webhead said something about something huge back when Kickstarter was kind of new called Kaiju Combat. It had a huge following, had a huge following, but it got shut down for copyright reasons.
Oh,
and I don't ever think it ever came out. So like, did you ever have that case where like it wasn't like the production issue, it was the copyright issue?
Yeah, interesting. I'm sure there's like all sorts of like risk and things you can do.
Oh my goodness, Akuma Red, keep it in the bedroom. Keep it in the bedroom.
$2 super chat says, "Bang bang pew pew, calling you a gangster." That's how I roll, right?
Well, Webhead brought up a good point. With the copyright issues and that kind of thing. It's like when you're paying for the stuff up front, and this is something that may not be fulfilled for a year or two later. Things change during that time. Prices could go up, shipping costs can go up and stuff. So I had one that was just a small, I don't know, maybe $30 cardboard game, and they got like 16,000 backers, and so it was very successful. However, they cut their prices, like their margins super thin, and the costs that it cost them to actually manufacture the game and ship the game were much higher than they initially thought. So when it came down to it, like it was, I don't remember the exact prices, but it was like $30 for the game. It ended up costing them like $38 or $40 per game to manufacture and ship. So they're like, oh my gosh, we're going to lose a lot of money because we sold 16,000 of these things.
Yeah.
So they actually had to go back and ask their backers, can everyone please give us an extra $10? And
really?
What did you do?
I didn't. I said, screw this. I paid $30 for it. I'm not paying more.
Let's go to Mike's comment.
I'm trying to see what Ouya is. I've not ever heard of it.
An Ouya? You never had an Ouya? It's a gaming
Ouya?
console. It's you could play a Bomb Squad on it. Or you could back in the day.
All right, Mike's comment says, I watched all of Kongs R Us videos, but the ones with Mrs. Kongs R Us, I watched more than once.
Is that why your back hurts?
Yes, he is he is a hawk clerk.
Is that why?
I love it how New Sensations said the same thing too.
Oh, so anyway, how they ended up fixing that problem is they added, and I don't even know if this is legal. They made a song for a soundtrack to the board game.
Oh my
gosh. They printed out like piano sheet music for the song, and then they just printed all like 16,000 copies of the sheet music, and they put it in the box, and then that way they could use media mailer type of shipping, which apparently costs a lot less. They were able to ship it out for much cheaper because it was media mail, simply because they put sheet music in there. Now I don't know, that's a gray area, but I got the game, so it was a decent game.
Interesting. I'm just curious about what else has been out there. So people are saying the Ouya.
The Ouya. Do you guys remember?
Name a few
Does anyone ever
ever
know Jong from iArcade? Actually, did an he had a Kickstarter before that.
Really?
Oh.
It was like a beer brewing thing, like an iHoppy or something. It was like iHop or something. It was a failed Kickstarter. And he took a lot of crap about that when he first launched his Kickstarter. People were saying, I don't know about this guy. His history was kind of
sketch. So if you start out with beer first.
Yeah, but that's a good tip, really. iArcade is an example of one that they did it the second time around. They were successful. But a lot of times, if you go to a Kickstarter, go look at the history of what that same user has Kickstarted before. Yeah. Because if you don't recognize their stuff and you're like, man, they've got other things that they've backed that have been either failed or whatever, but if you see like, oh, this is a board game creator that, I recognize these other games that they've created, then you can feel more comfortable backing them, that kind of thing. Right. So do your homework.
You gotta know and trust.
That's a good tip, though. I mean, like, honestly, like, to do the research behind, like, what else have they done or tried to do, too. Like, if if they had other failed Kickstarters, it's like, why am I supporting y'all?
Of course, if you take that advice, then you shouldn't have backed the iArcade, right? Because he failed on his first one. But then did you see that interview, though? He went on P-Dub's Arcade Loft, Jong did, right before his Kickstarter, and Patrick had him in tears, literally, because he was so passionate about the project, and he didn't want people to not back it because of his history with the IHOP or whatever. Yeah.
Well, I suppose it's a different type of product that he's trying to push.
Yeah, and sometimes you back the people more than the product. Sometimes if you know them, if you kind of get
I mean, like I said, like all the Kickstarters I've done were friends who were trying to do stuff. So, like,
what are some things that you've backed?
Backed a publication for a book. So I backed Joe's project. I backed
That Rabbit Farm, didn't they do some stuff?
Yeah, they did a book.
Yeah.
So our favorite, if you he's not wearing it right now. But like if you notice some of his reviews are wearing like a bunny on a shirt, our friends, Patty and Jason are doing a publication called Fat Rabbit Farm. We've backed a lot of their things. Whenever they're here in town, we always like support them too. But I know B is furiously looking it up. Oh, all the bunnies that you see in the background of our arcades, they're from that company. And like we love them. Like, it's really cute. And they did a publication for a book, and they knew like this book was going to be super expensive to have to do. But they did it. Yeah, that's the one.
This was the Kickstarter that we did to support some people. So again, this is one of those things where you support people that you know, and we've been fans of this brand for a while. So yeah, you can find brands that you like that might be starting something brand new. So
like you mentioned, Jeff, like start small, then go big. We started small. I still start small. I don't back $1,000 things.
There's sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can find stuff that, like those pots and pans that you got, you probably can't find that specific type anywhere, right?
The reason why we have those pots and pans is because he threw my pans away.
Oh,
and then before that, we bought pans from him.
From a
LA County
yeah, we bought this like we were, I think, like 19 or 20. We went to the LA County Fair, and we totally got duped by one of those like, check out these pans that can fry an egg, and the next I'm gonna buy this thing. We're like, wow,
can fry a pan that can fry an egg,
exactly, without any oil. That's the non-stick pan, right? So it's just one of those things where you see it and you're like, hey, cool. I just bought a $400 set of pots and pans that
But as you get older, you realize like nice stuff actually makes sense.
Does cost more. Yeah, absolutely. we took some part of our house still feels like, I turned this place into an arcade, which doesn't look very homey.
This still looks like a college kid's dream.
I would still say that for the most part. Yeah, for sure.
Anywho, let's go back to some of the comments that people are making and all about our house.
Jong has honey bear beer at his pizza party. So
wait. Richel Dello said, who here backed AMN Marco Rainwater Press?
Oh, the Amico.
Have you backed that?
Is that a Kickstarter? Was Amico a Kickstarter?
I don't know if it was a Kickstarter. And I know they have pre-orders that you can buy. I know Retro Ralph pre-ordered it twice.
Yeah.
But I have not backed that because I'm not 100% convinced it's coming out. But I want one, but I will wait until I see a physical product on that. See, that would be one that I would be hesitant to put money up front for. So
I have like zero interest in the Amico for all the coverage that's happening for that console.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of an Amico before?
No, I don't want to know.
Yeah, it's just an old retro gaming console that came out. They're making a re-release version.
But I love what Web had said.
This is actually a comment. Go ahead.
It's legit. Kickstarter kind of seems like the new As Seen on TV channel where you put that.
Yeah, you can get some weird stuff.
It is very true.
Yeah, you want to be that cool thing that like you want to get it. You want to see if it works or not.
Okay, so then of all the Kickstarters that you've already talked about the ones that you love.
Mm-hmm.
What are the ones that you regret?
So I backed this one game. Oh, here it is. Let me show you this game.
It's right there.
Literally right here. Don't get me wrong. This is a great game. It's a fun game. But this game, Santorini. It's based on a city in
Greece.
Europe. Yeah, or is it in Greece? I don't know. Anyway, it's a cool little game. It's a little like thinky, like it plays sort of like a chess type game, but you get all these different special powers and stuff. Beautiful game. I don't regret buying it necessarily. However,
then why'd you pull it
up? But let me explain. So I can't remember what I paid for this, but I bought it on the Kickstarter for like $60 or $70 or something, like the deluxe everything, right? When Toys R Us was going out of business, they were closing down. They had this in the store, and you could get it for like $10. And I was like, I spent like 6 or 7 times more on the Kickstarter just to get this. And that's one thing that you got to keep in mind. It used to be Kickstarters, you would go there because you'd get a good deal, right? Mm-hmm. Not the case. I think more often than not, you pay more on Kickstarter than you do at retail. But the difference is you'll get deluxe components, you'll get exclusives and extras and that kind of thing that you wouldn't necessarily.
When you think about it, like you're supporting a business that can go like big, right? To be on Toys R Us. Okay, we all didn't expect Toys R Us to go out of business the way it did. But then at the same time too, like if you hadn't supported that business, they wouldn't have been able to have that component to be able to like go that big. So then part of it isn't so much about like supporting like buying something that's a good deal, but it's supporting something that could potentially be a big deal.
That's true. Had none of us ever backed that board game, it would have never made it into Toys R Us.
Okay, so that's not really a regret. You gotta find something else that you truly did not want to tell your spouse about.
I did buy this little. My wife likes tea, right? And I bought this little. It's kind of like a.
No, that's not fair. You don't get to pick something that she likes. But something that you bought yourself.
She doesn't use it though. She doesn't ever use it. That's the thing. Like I bought it for her as a Christmas gift, and you can put tea, like loose leaf tea, in it, and it'll. I don't know. I thought it would be a good gift, and she doesn't use it, so it was a waste of money. Time. It wasn't expensive though.
What did you buy that you truly regretted that I don't know about?
Well, I just showed you everything that I backed, like literally. So I don't think there's anything. And normally, I have like I used to when I bought toys, and I used to have a room full of toys. I still have a room full of toys. I would have stuff shipped to my office instead of home, so she wouldn't see the big package, and then I would find the way to like.
That's when you know you have a problem,
house, right? And so, but then the problem is like I have one of the biggest things that I ever purchased was at the time was like a helmet. If you've seen my other room, and I have these helmets in the background. Came in a giant ass box, and I was like, how the hell am I gonna like sneak this into the house? And then it's not that I had like a fear of what you would say about it. It's just like the space component of like, I got something else. And she would always have like her
where are you gonna put it?
Do your Mrs. Kong's arrest, like why? Like where are you gonna put it? Yeah.
Well, see what I did for a long time, I didn't like sneak stuff, but the fact that all this stuff comes like a year or two later, it was like another box showed up and be like, oh, I ordered that like a year ago. Like that was a long time.
Money spent. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. It's money has already been. It was paid for like last year. Like no big deal.
I guess. So I have a confession to make to you.
Uh-oh.
Confession time.
She backed something.
All right.
I backed something on Kickstarter. So you know our kittens.
Yes.
You know, I told you it was like only $300 for each kitten.
For what?
to take care of them
Mhm.
with our vet bill and stuff like that. It's actually $100 a month per kitten. You do the math.
Mhm.
Our alley cats are about.
How many cats do you have?
We have 3 cats now, and so she's
you're a foster tail.
yes, we're foster fails, and so she's fine. I mean, I kind of knew it was that expensive, but I knew that you just never told me exactly how much it was. So each cat, you're paying a current vet bill of $100 per month per cat since we've owned the cats for the last 6 months. So you've already spent $1,800 on our cats that we got for free. That
Why are you not taking advantage of this situation? Order T2 or something right now, quick.
I love it, Webhead.
What's that? Yes, it's the cat starter.
So yes, our bougie cats go to a bougie vet, and like they're $100 a month.
Well,
cat.
you already got them, like, but you can get out of it at any time, right? It's not like you're like locked
No,
into it.
I am locked into it
Why are you locked into it?
because I promised to do it the whole year.
What?
Oh man.
Okay, so it's $1,200. So you spent
each cat is about
$3,600.
$1,300.
Okay, wait, why 1,300? You said 100 per month.
Oh, oops,
I think you just got permission to spend 3,600. You can get another pinball machine now.
Oh, I know. All right, Mike, I think you're on to something now.
No, he's already got the
New pinball.
I know. So,
But like you saw those beauties. They came. Tabby heard her name. She like sat on me. Okay, they're alley cats. They could just survive in the wild, but like
Richard Dell has a funny story about ordering a Conan sword, forgot to switch the shipping name, it had the wife's name. She opened it and threatened to beat me with it.
Oh.
That's
and the Conan
funny.
sword too. It's like
Yeah.
a giant. Oh goodness.
You're gonna go ahead and stick with your nickname being Sassy. All right. All right, Billy, get some talcum powder and spread it on the box and say, "Oh, this old thing." Oh yeah, when you get, he's saying like you get something like a year later.
You know how with a lot of Kickstarters they'll have a pledge manager afterwards and you can add on extra stuff after.
Yeah.
I think they should. All Kickstarters should have an extra pledge after the fact. That's like $5 or whatever to just add a note to the box saying congratulations for winning this product or whatever. So that way, when your spouse sees it, it looks like you won something, like, hey, right? Instead of.
Wait, what is John talking about?
John says, "Sup, Mr. and Mrs. Kong's Rest. We hanging out this week?" Oh, that might be alluding to something.
John, you coming to LA?
Or we might be making a visit up north.
John, you coming to LA?
Possibly, it might be foreshadowing the if we can get together. I've been bugging. Bugging John. What's that?
What says like, bro? Tell him the cat died.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, just tell him that the cat died. What can you do? Oh, yeah. So, like, for you talking about the insurance thing, you can get out of it. You can get out of. That's a lot of insurance money for cats.
Maybe she prepaid.
Insurance for the cats yet? I'm gonna wait until like we lapse.
That's just like the regular service cost for having 3 cats.
Oh yeah, I try to pay insurance. For
so okay, here's my.
What is wrong with these cats that they need this intensive care?
I know they're brand new. They don't need like $100 of service per month. You better be going in like every single week to like.
I told you I text the vet late at night.
Yeah, so she's getting like premium service because she can talk to her. So she's a crazy cat lady with 3 cats. I mean, like they're alley cats, man. Like
you, oh my, you love them.
You get them their initial vaccines and then you just feed them. They take care of themselves. What?
Right.
Why do you?
Here's my confession.
Don't get me involved.
I spent all yesterday watching Captain's Auctions Warehouse.
No.
Listening to the auction to see if there was something good, and
you bid on something that you knew.
Did you outbid me on that stupid Wizard of Oz? Are you kidding me right now?
So the auction went to 3 a.m. at night last night, and I was sleeping in bed listening to stuff because
nothing happens after 2 a.m.
The 2 a.m. deals are always the best deals.
Nothing happens at 2 a.m.
What did you get?
They had 2 Terminator 2s on sale at 2:30 a.m. and I was like, these are gonna be sweet ass deals because nobody's gonna bid on them. And so so Arcade1Up is selling Terminator 2s for $700, right?
Right.
Guess how much these 2 T2s went for? Put it into chat. How much do you think the latest?
Wait, 700?
The 700 is how much.
$6.99.
No, 700 is how much Arcade1Up is selling theirs for.
$6.99.
But there was
Tell me they didn't go cheaper than the Arcade1Ups.
Arcade1Ups or 2 real T2s went for sale last night. What did they go for? Anybody in the chat? Jeff, what do you think?
I gotta look now. But
Look.
Did they seriously go for cheaper than the Arcade1Up versions?
No, they did not. They did not.
I was gonna say that John D's in the chat. We're gonna take some flack if that was the case. I don't know, 1,500.
Correct. That's exactly how much they went for. One went for $1,500. One went for $1,300.
You paid both.
You bought both of them.
She's punching me. I bought. Ow! Stop! I was watching it. I didn't bid on them. I didn't win any of them. She's punching me for no reason. I just wanted to see her reaction.
So you're gonna freak out.
Arcade machine.
This will make her feel better. My wife has been wanting a real pinball for a long time. We've been bidding on pinball machines the last several auctions. The Jersey Jack Emerald City limited edition Wizard of Oz was one of the ones that was for sale at the auction yesterday, and my wife said you can bid up to 10 grand. I'm like, really?
It went for over that.
It did, yeah. I bid when it got up to 9,500. I bid.
Goodness.
And then it hit 10 grand, and it sat there. And he was like, going once, going twice. Anyone for 10.5? Nobody for 10.5. So then he goes, would anyone go 10,100? And I'm like, and I bid. And then it sat there at 10,100. And I go, oh my God, what did I do? I'm in trouble now. And she was downstairs on her phone, like watching, like probably going,
You did it, didn't you?
And somebody bid 10,200.
Oh,
and I was like, I'm out. And they got it.
And they won?
By $100, they beat me.
That's so funny.
You watched it. That was me bidding that, and they beat me by $100. I'm glad that it didn't, because the fees and the shipping and everything. It would have been
over
12
1100, 11,000.
Oh, yeah.
18% gratuity plus the thing.
And shipping to you too. Oh my God.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Washington. Yeah. I'd have been like, hey, B, can you pick this up for me?
Yeah. What did you say? This is a couples therapy stream. Yeah, because she's punching me and I didn't even buy anything. Come on, man. Like,
you didn't get them. I thought you said you got both of those T2.
No, I was just trying to tell a story about how much they cost, and like,
John, we are not balling. We got 2 children. I gotta put through college.
I'm not either. Sorry, I'm glad I didn't win that.
Gunning, John. Yeah.
I'd have been in big trouble.
Man, she's like punching me for stuff. But yeah, it's local to me, so I can go pick it up. But there was a couple of different pinball machines that I was watching yesterday, and I did bid on a couple when they were like at the price point that I wanted to get it at, and then they just kept going for higher. So I mean, the thing about all these arcades,
shut off our modem at a certain time.
There was a couple of things that I was watching yesterday. I was looking at if I'm getting another pinball machine, it's gonna be one of the modern Sterns. I don't want to do anything like maintenance wise.
Shut off our modem and shut off our cellular bill.
So we're gonna eventually get a Jurassic Park Premium. That's gonna happen. But it's really expensive. It's like a $9,000.
I was gonna say that's like 9-10 grand.
It's pretty expensive for the premiums, but they had a TMNT premium. They also had a.
Ricardo says.
Yes, hit him. Oh. They had a Stranger Things limited edition pinball machine yesterday too. That I was looking at Stranger Things too, and that went for I think 10,000 as well.
Fight, Daddy. Fight, Daddy.
Very, very expensive. Hey, you're an expensive cat, man. Oh my goodness.
I bid on a
do not sell my cats.
Star Trek The Next Generation one in the last auction, and Conti Dinta won it. I found out later, someone from our community. Yeah, I'm like, you beat me on that auction.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Ooh, Kuma Rev's gonna go look at the Avengers Stern. Yeah, the Avengers Infinity Gem or Infinity Gauntlet is actually a really good Is it? It's a good table.
Kumarev.
Yes.
New sensation's gonna punch you in the face.
Oh yeah, we have to go this. We got to go to Ace Gogi because it's a Korean barbecue place that has Stern pinball machines, but he's a distributor too. Interesting. I didn't know.
Where is Ace Gogi?
It's in the Valley, so he has 2 different places. But yeah, the Stranger Things will be a franchise that will hold long-term value. I don't know. It's really, they have a whole day dedicated to it. Yesterday was Stranger Things Day, and so yeah. Oh, don't drop down. Okay. But yeah, it might be. There's some franchises that I think that would be really fantastic, but I did not end up buying anything. I really wanted to like get something. It would have been that I had my eyes on the Point Blank 2 cab. That was a shooter cab that was later.
You still have that cab in my parents' garage.
I have a Lethal Enforcer sitting in her parents' garage that I haven't put together. But Point Blank 2 is one of my favorite games. But that went for almost like $1,200. Just the price of some of these games were just, I don't know, like they were just more than what I wanted to pay for them. And I think it's just the market now. I think everybody's into this nostalgic piece.
I feel like it's just the last like 4 or 5 months the auctions have just skyrocketed in price. Like even you used to be able to get stuff way cheaper.
And in fact, even my you just sold your Avengers pin for $7,600. My Star Wars Stern Pro that I got, which just 3-4 months ago, people said I got swindled because I won the auction at $5,200, so it was about $6,000 after fees. And at the time, new Star Wars Pros were like $6,000 if I would have gotten it. But if you try to buy a Star Wars Pro now, it's like $7,500. Like the price of a Pro and a Premium or any of those have already gone up. So I've already increased the value of my Star Wars Pro pinball in just 3 months by sitting on it. So.
I love this guy who says, I'm going to put a bid on something that I know I'm not going to win. Who puts a bid on something that you know you're not going to win?
Because if it's cheap, it's worth it putting it in at that price point. My Star Wars Racer, it was $400.
Said Jeff, how was your night?
Yes,
it was great. Thank you for asking me. I got a new chair. I just got to put it together too. I've got this old like squeaky one is going out the door now. So.
All right. Well, Jeff,
thank you for having me on, man.
Yeah,
that was cool.
You joining us and
like
saying hello.
Uncoupling a lot of things that we need to discuss in our relationship.
Yeah, I thought he's going to have Kickstarter questions. I better go answer them. So.
All right. Thanks for joining, Jeff.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. So the last thing we wanted to do, we're already over an hour into the show. We were supposed to open up this giant Sentinel, and I want to open it up and finish the show.
Oh, wait.
So
okay,
can you grab? Yes. Can you grab this giant ass Sentinel?
I'm supposed to put it here. Can people see it?
Yes.
All right. You spent how much on it?
$400. What? Why? What are you doing? Why would you do that? What the hell? Why? Why would you? That's terrible. Did you see what she was doing? She was smacking the outside of the box with her elbow. Yeah, that's terrible. No, stop. There's tools for you to open this up appropriately. Like, oh my! I'm not ever doing this live again. She's like banging a $400 toy with her elbow. Can I trust you with this? Can you open this regularly?
You want to open it?
My goodness, everybody's like, OMG, like, let's just go. She broke it. Like, why? Like, what reasoning do you have to attack the giant package? What did the package ever do to you?
Showed up at my house.
Showed up at your house? Okay, all right. So I'm slowly opening up the Sentinel.
It's taking too long.
No, don't worry. I'm gonna slowly open it up.
Maybe let's see elbows again.
Nobody wants to see elbows onto the box itself. I mean, who's a box collector and now just has like heart palpitations because she just damaged the freaking box? Like, oh my goodness.
Styrofoam.
There's styrofoam, but now the box is damaged. There's a crease in the box now because of your elbow. There's a crease in the box now. Like, oh my goodness. Like, why?
I love it. Ricardo said, you're an Asian man. You should know Asian women usually hold grudges for a couple of years.
All right. Oh my goodness. All right. So we're going to pull this out.
Oh, look, give me $5 to do this again.
Do it. No, stop. No. All right, move the box. Okay, all right, it's here. Here's this giant ass Sentinel figure.
Look how protected he was.
He's so big. All right, stop. All right, I'm really worried now that she's gonna attack this randomly again. So let's do this quickly. You wanna? Oh, okay.
That happened.
Yes.
So, I didn't do it.
No. These parts are just open figures.
Look at the mastermind's head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look at all these. Very good.
Or master mold.
Master mold. Yeah, I don't even know. So they have two different heads.
It's actually really hefty.
Right?
Oh, look at all the details inside of his head too.
Yeah. Head mold, really good. This figure is. So I actually have the old Build-A-Figure Sentinel, but yeah, nothing really compared. Oh wow, this one is definitely heavier. This figure is ginormous. Like the Build-A-Figure has nothing on this guy. Like I didn't realize how big this guy was. You wanna pull him out?
Oh my god, he's like. Oh my god, he has fingers.
Yeah.
That's gross.
All right, pull it out.
Oh, you're so good at saying pull it out.
Yes, pull it out. Pull it. Let me pull up the super chat in a second. She's gonna body slam for Sentinel before this is over. I want to see her manhandle this. But thanks for the
I'm already
thanks for the
manhandling
super chat. Oh my goodness, she's doing a reach around for Sentinel.
This is actually really heavy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, interesting. All right, so
Ew.
this.
Okay,
Yeah.
so like I don't like his head. I want to pop the other head on.
Oh, you want to put the other heads on? Which one? This one?
Yeah, Master Mold's head on. Well, how do you pull it off?
Pull it.
How do you
Tug
how
it.
do you pull, tug it?
Twist and pull.
Twist and
Up and
pull.
down.
Up and down. It's not. You want me to break this toy? I will.
I don't know if there's like a good way to actually pull off the head. Up
Okay.
there.
Well, no! Don't punch me in the face. That has happened one too many times as he's tugging it out.
There you go. Those are the heads.
All right, put on Master Mold's head. Oh, maybe give you a character. Who is this?
So there's different heads you can do. All right.
Does anybody know who this is?
This thing is giant. I really don't know what to do with this. All right. So there's all these different. It's huge. Oh my goodness. Can you see this? It's I don't even know where I'm gonna put this, but I don't even know if this can stand on its own. I don't think the.
Is this supposed to be Captain Marvel?
What's that? It is one of the Sentinel like little figures. I love the individual articulation on this. This looks really cool.
Look at his cage. Like he has.
Oh, well, does this thing light up? I wonder if this part lights up. I'm pretty sure. I probably should like do reviews on this or like read up on things, but there's a lot of good detail. This was totally see big ass figures like this are really freaking awesome. So I just wanted to say, like the Haslab stuff. This is the stuff I want to see. I want to see big ass toys that would never be in production regularly.
Christopher Lloyd.
That would not ever be in production. So this was a good excuse to open this up. We're gonna open everything up and like play with it later, but you can take this off.
I love it. Jeff was saying, could you imagine being a 6-year-old and getting this for Christmas?
Oh my goodness.
You would not buy that for a 6-year-old.
Yeah. All right. That's pretty much it for the stream. We just opened that up. I think I might do something else later on.
My chair.
He did. You want to have him sit in your lap?
No. How about this?
All right. So you just tossed them off to the side. That is it. Thank you all. It says tighten the knees by popping off the plane inseam of the knee joints. Oh. Okay, good to know.
Middle finger. I don't know. He's on his face right now.
He probably could do a middle finger up. You want to do that before we leave the stream?
No, he's better on his face.
He's on his face down there?
Yep.
All right. So, well, thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Thanks for checking it out. We appreciate everybody joining the show. Have a safe Sunday. You want to say anything else?
Daylight savings, y'all.
I know. I hope you guys enjoyed your extra hour of sleep. See you later.
I did not enjoy my extra hour of sleep.
You should have.
You let me sleep in.
I can't believe you elbowed my freaking toy.
I can't believe you bought a freaking
I didn't
toy.
buy anything. I bought this like years ago. You elbowed my toy.
Stream so we can talk about this later.
This is our couple stay. She elbowed my toy.
Fuck.